Okay, so we're at the second part of this video, so let's continue. So if you noticed in my last video, there was some sudden frame rate drop, like it was playing smoothly, but then it dropped to like 5 frames per second. And the main reason for that is because of the floor texture is set to block demons true if you use the blocking boxes. It's actually a game bug, and it's a very annoying one if you aren't aware of it, because on consoles the frame rate drops dramatically, but I'm not sure how bad it is on a high-end PC. So when you put floor textures with your blocking boxes, make sure the block demons option is off, or it's going to cause that bad frame rate. Prop usage is very key to making your maps look nice, and you're going to need it if you heavily rely on the grid module for the 100% custom geo experience. I like to make up my own props, even though I do enjoy seeing other people making their own props like Pig Dog. I always get jealous when I see the awesome props he makes, and I'm like, how did he come up with that? But I try not to borrow anyone's material. I'll most likely get inspired, but I'd rather make my own stuff. That's another thing you can do in SnapMap. You can actually copy and paste props or logics from other people's maps and then paste it to your map. The best way to create attractive props is just look for inspiration. Try to look at pictures of random environments or get inspired by playing other people's maps. And that's another thing you need to have to be a solid custom mapper. You need to get inspired by something. I'm heavily inspired by Doom 1 and 2, so I always go back to those games and see what I can get from those games and then give it my own twist in SnapMap. I am inspired by other games too, but it's mostly those two games I mentioned. I do use the standard props too. Sometimes I won't combine a variety of props to create another prop, or use blocking boxes and just try to create something out of it, because sometimes you kind of want that sense of simplicity for decoration purposes, or have it for cover, because I do try to put some cover around my areas just to add some dynamic gameplay feature to it. I also believe adding invisible barriers is very important. I always try to add invisible barriers to my city-based maps because they're so easy to break, and I just try to find the ones that seem breakable and add invisible barriers to them, because I'm a very explorative player and I hate it when I break a map by accident or find a way to break the immersion from the experience. This is by far the most important thing you need to have when you're a custom mapper, and that is to be extremely patient and have a lot of dedication. Custom geo maps will take much longer than making a map with presets, mainly because you gotta build everything from the start rather than using an arena that's already done, and you can just decorate it or change some stuff, but it's not the same compared to making your own module from the ground up. It's definitely the most time consuming part, and probably the part where most people will give up on custom mapping unless there's a sense of desire of why you want to make this map. I wanted to finish my campaign mainly because I wanted to make a campaign that's gonna push custom mapping in this current update to its limits, make it fun for solo and co-op experiences, be challenging and difficult, make it feel like an expansion pack, and most importantly, inspire people and give Doom players enjoyment. There was a lot of goals I wanted to do with this campaign compared to my other maps, so that definitely motivated me to finish the entire campaign. So when you make a custom map, you have to keep your eye on the prize, otherwise you will lose motivation, and you will, have to have all of that to make the map come to life. So this tip is another tip that's kind of obscure, but it's definitely important. When you use blocking boxes, make sure the depth is above 100. There's a glitch where if it's under 100, the demons can still walk through them even if the block demon option is on, so keep your mind on that. This next tip isn't completely exclusive to custom mapping, but I think a lot of custom mappers are most likely going to do this. Promote your map. Keep on publishing it for promotional purposes. Go on Reddit, YouTube, Doom World, and promote your stuff. I feel like people who make custom maps are most likely going to do this because they put so much time and effort in it and they want people to play it. I wanted people to play my campaign for a promotional purpose, but it was also great to see how people play it, because when you're the creator, it's always going to be different than the non-creator playing your map. So it's also really good to get people to play your map, just in case you encounter just in case they encounter something you didn't expect in your play testing session, and you could just go back there and just fix them. I think that is it. Unless people who are custom mappers got more tips to give, type them in the comments section, because I feel like I got all the important things down pretty much. With that said, I'm gonna try to make some episodes where I talk some of my maps in depth and analyze them, so stay tuned for that.